pinnacle of human perfection.
Is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Sharing the love, spreading the light in real time. Friday night love stream.
Very happy to have a guy we instantly resonated with. Unbiased and on the fence. I'm talking about Shane C. Robinson. And his purpose is to rise above the worldviews that are designed to separate us so we can unite as one.
Sometimes you have to sort of take a step back, and I think Unbiased and on the Fence is a really, really good title for your show, because you are in the central point when you're unbiased and on the fence. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you're indecisive. It means you are taking the central point and you're seeing the multiple perspectives.
Unbiased and on the fence.
If you haven't checked Unbiased on the Fence, go and check his channel out. You might like it.
This is Dan Hofel from Talk is Cheap, and you're listening to Unbiased and on the Fence with Shane Robinson.
If this much sincerity enters your life, come to this much. What I know, I know. What I do not know, I do not know. I don't believe anything, I don't disbelieve anything. I'm willing to look at everything. You will become a sensible human being.
Have you checked out our website?
Visit us on the web at uotf.net. You're listening to The Love Stream.
All around the world in real time.
This is Shane with Unbiased and On the Fence. You're listening to the Friday Night Love Stream.
Your calls, your stories, on air. You're listening to the Love Stream.
Sharing the love and spreading the light all around the world. This is Unbiased and On the Fence.
Unbiased and on the fence.
What is up, everybody? How are you feeling? It's been another week already. Gosh, it's hard to keep up. I don't know about you guys, but it's like days are running together. Of course, it's May 1st. Here in Tulsa, they have the option to begin opening things up again, of course, with much more space in place. Probably a lot like before the presidential order went in place. There's social distancing measures still being put in place, but as for right now, masks and things like that are optional, but recommend it. But it's nice to see the economy get rolling again. And it looks like people are really anxious. A good part of the people that were really packing the establishments today were really anxious to get out of the house. There didn't seem to be a lot of fear going around. I did not. I just drove around a little bit and kind of scoped things out. I didn't go in anywhere because I figured it would be long lines. And that's what they're reporting. Places that are open are dealing with longer lines than usual. Of course, their capacity is down as well. But at any rate, phone lines are open. I'll put them on the screen for you there. And, of course, you can join from the website as well. The links are in the description below. International phone numbers as well. Let's see. All right, excellent. So 605-562-0444. Or if you're calling from somewhere else in the world, you can find that number below. And no matter what number you're calling in on, it's going to be, the show ID will be 147-7973. Yeah, this week really did zoom by. Exciting, though. Excited to hear what's going on in your neck of the woods. Phone lines are open. You can let me know how things are in your part of the world. What's up, Sandy? Good to see you here. Rita, Peter. Both Sandys are here. Jane, Kosovan, Michelle, Kate from my hometown of St. Louis. Luna Rose is here, and Janice. Welcome, you guys. Let's see if you can never go wrong with some wing makers. Let's see if I can get some going here. There it is. Okay, we'll set the mood with some wing makers. See if anybody wants to call in. Phone lines are open. Maybe the universe is making room for you. Could that be? All right, we want to go to the phone lines. We have our first caller, Sandy. What's up, Sandy? How are you?
Hello, hello. I just wanted to call and say hello to you and everybody and touch bases.
Yeah, so how are things going up in Portland?
Well, we've had an early spring up here, so luckily I just put in a garden and been doing lots of planning. I feel like a frontierswoman.
A lot of people are doing that. That's really encouraging to hear people planning and doing so much.
It's amazing. You know, I can walk down my street, and before, when I've walked down my street and gone for a walk, everybody's busy. They were minding their own business. But now it's so different because I'll walk down the street and people will be out in their front yards, and they'll be building raised beds. They'll be working on their homes. Kids are playing. They purposely stop and say hello to you. And we have this thing in our neighborhood where we posted hearts and teddy bears in the windows of your home. And when families would go for their walks, they would go on a teddy bear hunt with the kids so that they could find the teddy bears in the windows.
Yeah,
So
I saw a bit of that on
really
the news. That's really
feel the
neat.
love.
Yeah, that's all over the world too.
Is it?
Yeah, I saw a news piece about it. I thought, wow, what? It's nice to put a piece of actually encouraging, uplifting news on there instead of all the fear. So that was that was actually one of the only pieces of uplifting news I've seen this whole time, was them talking about that.
Wow. Yeah, I completely stay away from the news. It's just not something that I'm allowing into my energy field these days.
Oh, I don't blame you there.
Or even before that, you know, I'm very choosy about where I get my news sources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
it's easy to get stuck there.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I've been talking to my friends, and I tell them that, you know, I try to make them aware of how many times they hear that word, that C-19 word, a day, or they read it, or it's somewhere in their vision, or whether they hear it or read it or whatever. But I've just decided to not give it very much attention, because wherever you put your attention, it grows and it gives it energy. So if I have to address it, I call it the transformer instead of the C-19 that everybody else calls it. So
I like that.
It kind of gives
transformer.
Yeah, the transformer, because it's really that's what it does. It's transforming so much.
I know, isn't it? It's amazing how it fits into so many different scenarios, and it's really causing this forward momentum in our growth and expansion. And of course, I know there's people suffering, and our hearts go out to those people. But at the same time, people are having their world shaken up. They're having important things placed back in front of them because they've been, you know, busy with the grind. Like we've all been like that, where we're just trying to pay our bills and work, and then something like this comes along and it really shakes up your world. And it can be a lot like me and Eileen talk about pulling the fridge out, and it's like all this yucky stuff, you know what I mean? But you got to kind of go through that before you can clean it up, right? So.
And we're all doing that in our lives. There's so many areas that we are cleaning up, so to speak, whether it's our immediate surroundings in our homes, or whether it's the basement or the garage, or your own personal deep. You're going deep and cleaning up generations of stuff that is deep within you. So you're cleaning that out too.
Exactly.
So it's just it's on all levels, definitely. But
exciting times though. You been keeping your vibes up throughout all this?
You know, I had a small little breakdown towards the beginning of this, a time of adjustment when all the realization kind of hit me, and that lasted a good 24 hours, and then I was in a space of allowance and really felt all that coming up and the fear and the bewilderment, and I think I was even in a state of shock at one point where my body just needed to digest all this information. And once I got to that point, then it was in kind of like survival go mode, and I had made my list of what I need to do to prepare for everything, and yeah, it's been good since then, actually.
Does it seem like people are in pretty good spirits in your area, despite being locked up and all that? Yeah.
Yes. It's rare that I find somebody who's not. Honestly. And that's just, my little world that I am in. There's a market that I go to that's a local market, and it's just I was just so surprised going into that market, and they had the music blasting, and the people that worked there were singing at the top of their lungs, like karaoke, up and down the aisles, and they were purposely looking at you in the eyes and saying hello, and what can we do for you? Even though we have the masks are on and the aisles are directed in which flow to go and all that, but everybody was in such high spirits, and it's just like this. You guys are amazing. You guys are just so amazing.
That's really cool. It's weird to see how they're trying to push us apart, and it's bringing us together. More time with the family, more time to do things that we've sort of been putting off, like you were mentioning spring cleaning and stuff. We've been doing a lot of that going around here. People learning to do BQH or something along those lines, learning a new sort of tool.
I've been really busy as far as that go. I've been busier now doing readings over the phone. A lot more people are calling me instead of them coming to me. They're calling me, and we're having the readings on the phone. Also, a lot of people are wanting hypnotherapy, so I've been doing a lot of that. And I think the one thing that brings me the most joy is people are really getting in touch with their creative side. And through FaceTime, I've been teaching art on all different levels. I've got some adults were doing more spiritual art and intuitive art, where it's working more with line and with color. And during the time, I'm usually getting some kind of message from their guides, and I'll let them know what those messages are as we're doing the art. So I'm doing that side of it. I am doing art with the kids that are stuck at home, and mom and dad just need a break. So they turn on the FaceTime, and I've got them for 2 hours, and we're just there creating and connecting, and it's just so joyful. I really enjoy that so much. I have some college kids and just some regular people that want to draw or paint that have never drawn or paint before. So they're like, okay, I'm stuck here, and let's get in contact with something that I've never done before. And it's been just amazing.
That is really awesome. Yeah, and I think about how the atmosphere is getting cleaned up, and all these people are, rehabbing their houses or doing just spring cleaning and just beautifying everything, planting things, and it's just sort of, I don't know, it's kind of a collective spring cleaning, it feels like, in a lot of ways, spiritually and physically.
And even, if things do try to go back to what they want as a normal, it'll never be the way it was before. But why would you want it to be? For a lot of people, they're asking themselves that question, why would I want it to go back to the way it was? Because I'm really enjoying my time around my family. I really don't want to go back to that job. So they've had quite a bit of time to sit and ask those questions that they've never been really able to ask themselves. And they also have enough time to come up with a plan that can work better for them, and they can have a healthier life so that they can continue to get the exercise and continue to eat good foods and continue to have time with the family. So this downtime has been an amazing time to actually bring that manifestation into reality.
That's a really good point, because I've heard of people talking about switching up their diet, like they haven't been able, maybe they work around food and they want to do a fast or want to switch up their diet. They don't want the temptation of having to work around food while they're trying to switch things up or go on a fast, and it provides this perfect time. Of course, most of us are eating more probably because we're sitting around and you can get bored, and there's a lot of comfort food being eaten, I think, right now. But at the same time, you know, it is, for some people, it's going to be an opportunity.
Definitely, yeah. The art of baking bread. So many of my friends are baking bread, and even if you went to the mainstream stores, you couldn't even find yeast because everybody's baking bread.
That's so funny you said that. I heard that the number one Google search was for banana bread, I believe, right now. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then, like, to round out the five, I think we had, like, lasagna and things like that. But banana bread was, Google reported banana bread was the top of the list while everybody's at home.
And I also wanted to make sure that I told you guys that on clear nights, when Portland doesn't have any clouds, which is off and on these days in spring, I still go outside and call in the ships. And when I did this before, I might have seen maybe one, and it took a while for the ships to show up. But now, within like an hour's time, all I have to do is think about it, and bam, they're there. And I'll see maybe 5 or 6 within an hour coming up over just my little space above my house, coming in and swooping down and sending love and support, letting us know that they're there, and we're not alone, you know.
Yeah.
Helping us out.
Yeah, I've had my little signs too, which are really neat. I love to get out there at night and get one little sign can make your night, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, no matter what it is, even if it's the little fairies or orbs or whatever, some kind of little sign like that is just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if people want to get a hold of you for a reading or anything, Sandy, do you have a website or anything?
That's one of the things I'm doing with my downtime is my website is down right now, so I'm redoing it. But I could give you my phone number, which is probably the best way to get in contact me. Just send me a text right now.
Okay, you guys ready? Grab some pen and paper.
Yeah, 503-781-5815.
Okay. I won't put in the thing, that way people aren't spamming you, but people can jot that down or rewind it if they need to. Or, you guys can always get a hold of me, and I can get you in touch with Sandy too. So if you're driving or something, just drop me an email through the website or whatever, and I can get you in touch with Sandy.
Yeah, so nice to hear your voice, and hello to all my tribe out there. I miss you so much, and soon we'll be together again. I just know it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and it is always good to hear from you. We need to do another get-together. I know we were planning, of course, with all this going on, who knows, but it would be good to see you again, Sandy.
Yeah, it'll happen.
And I'm looking at your beautiful painting that you created in Sedona right now. I have it here by my desk that I look at all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I love
awesome.
it. So it's right here by me all the time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was a really special time.
Yeah.
That was like really my first time of having a big group of people like that, loving individuals that wasn't in like a Christian religious setting.
Oh.
You know, that was my first time. And I was like, wow, this is so neat. You know what I mean? This is so neat. This is like that was awesome.
Yeah, I remember just walking around and looking at a face, and I go, I know you from somewhere, and then I'll look somewhere else, and I just feel like I knew everybody, and I recognized their faces, and I'd be so drawn to them, and I would just like walk right over and talk to the people, and that's our first meeting. We've never met anywhere else, but there was this deep inner knowing that, yes, we had a connection in some way, shape, or form. We recognized each other's souls.
Yeah. Yeah, we get that a lot here with our little group on the channel, which you've met tons of people here too, so you know, it's amazing. It's like, you know, we don't remember, but we all got together and planned this out before we came here. And we have that deep knowing of it, you know. Excellent.
Yep, most definitely.
Well, excellent, Sandy. Thank you for checking in. And like I said, anybody that wants to get a hold of Sandy for a reading, what kind of reading is it, Sandy? Just an intuitive reading, or do you use cards or anything?
It's a little bit of both. I do use cards and as a starter point, and then it just starts flowing in. So, and also during the art classes, I get messages during that, and during the Reiki sessions as well, I get messages. So, yep.
And I've been noticing a lot more of this, you know, meditating and being in the now. I've been feeling so connected lately. Like I've got such a clear line of communications, and it just keeps reassuring me everything's okay, you know?
Right. It's very immediate. Before, you know, maybe it would take, 20 minutes of meditation just to get to, you know, that point of connecting to the divine and the earth and all that. But now all I have to do really is just think of it, and it's immediate, and bam, I'm there.
Right. And it's all part of being in the now, you know?
Yeah, we're so we're so much more connected as one right now than before. I feel like even if I could think of somebody across the country, I can feel the immediate connection with that person, and know what they're feeling, and know, you know, what's going on in their lives, and if I need to call them or not, just to see if they're okay. And it's just it's just so much easier. It's so much easier to have that different kind of communication, whether it's telepathy or manifestation, is so much quicker. All I have to do is think about something, and the next thing I know, just like my raised beds out here in my backyard, all I have to do is, I was thinking of it the day before, and then all of a sudden somebody appears in my life that said, hey, I'll build you three raised beds, no problem. And it's like, this is so awesome.
I love seeing things just fall into place like that.
Yeah. Yep. I'm ready for the changes. I think everybody's ready for the changes, and they're welcoming all of our different kind of gifts to really show themselves in a lot of different ways, and that's how things are going to be going forward. Is we all are going to have to get in touch with our inner gifts and really start using them in our new lives moving forward, it's going to be so different, and it's going to be amazing. I'm not going to say that it's not going to be challenging at times, because it will be, but it is going to be an eye-opener, but that's what we need to know what we're really made of. You know, everybody needs a little push to see what you can do. I mean, if you think of, let's say, an athlete and a coach, how would that athlete ever know of their abilities and how far that they could go unless that coach was there encouraging them and pushing them and having them reach the limits that that they knew they could do all along.
It's really expanding our own, I guess, removing limitations.
Yeah, beyond what you know. Yeah. It's beyond what you know or what you think you know. It's just always asking for this when you're trying to manifest something and you have something in particular, like, let's just say an apple. I'm trying to manifest an apple in my life. And when you're asking for this apple and you're asking it to be red and you're asking it to be the biggest, ripest apple that you can eat, and you ask for it, but then you always end it with this or even better, because there's always even better out there for you, and they can bring even better into your life.
That's great. That's great information, because I know a lot of times we put so much into the expectations of what something's going to look like. And I think we can, I don't know, get in the way sometimes of manifesting it.
Because, yeah, it just opens it up to bringing even more amazing things into your reality.
Yeah. Well, awesome, Sandy. Thanks so much for checking in.
Yeah, it was so nice chatting with y'all, and hope you all have a good evening or morning or afternoon wherever you are.
Awesome. Will do. Lots of love to you, Sandy.
Sending out so much love.
Okay, bye-bye.
Let's go.
You're listening to The Love Street.
Unbiased and on the fence.
All right. Oh, so awesome to talk to Sandy there. Got to meet her in Sedona and then again in Austin, Texas at the New Year's get-together, and then again at ECETI last year, of course. And she was really she did an instrumental part in organizing things and helping just getting so much ready and, not even really having to ask her to do anything. And she did so much to help bring people together and coordinate and just having stuff there that we all needed and bringing people together. And it's just so nice to have people that are willing to go all out to make these get-togethers happen. All right, let's see. Going to go back to the phone lines. I got a 913 area code. Who am I talking to?
Hey, how you doing, man? I'd prefer not to get my real name, but you can call me John if you want.
Hey, John, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, Shane. How you doing tonight, brother?
Pretty good.
Awesome, man. I'm a big, long-time fan of your show and everything you're doing, man.
I appreciate it.
I just wanted to call and share an experience that I went through, a couple weeks ago, and, dealing with the changing energy and everything, the planet and everything. Like for you, could I ask you a question? Like first, how's your energy levels and stuff, man?
Man, they've been kind of fluctuating. Like I'll feel really amped up, and then other times I'll just need to, like just before the show, it was like 5. I'm like, man, I've just felt this heaviness come over me, and I took like an hour nap, and I felt okay once I got up. But that's been coming like that, and I just figure it's downloads or energy or something. I don't really know. I just kind of go with it.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Me too. But the story I'm gonna share, it's just crazy, man. Honestly, I don't know why I called in, but like do you ever get the feeling like something's around you but you can't see it? You know, like kind of spirits or something.
Like a presence. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I've done research on it, and like people have said like change in temperature, maybe different smells that just kind of seem to manifest out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, man, I was just hanging out, in my house, just watching a movie, and next thing I know, I start feeling like, there's like people around me. I start feeling all this cold air around me, man, and it kind of scared me at first, but then it didn't. Like I kind of got this peace about it, and I was like, whoa, okay. And I literally felt like something, but like if somebody was standing behind you and they put their hand on your shoulder and was like kind of like a friend, or hey man, I'm with you kind of thing.
Right.
It felt like that, and I instantly started getting kind of a little upset because like I kind of knew who it was, and my inner voice was saying, this is somebody, this is your a lost relative, I won't be too specific, and I just started kind of going with it, and it's kind of weird, man. Like I've been also feeling like kind of like an earthquake sensation, man, where you're just kind of standing there, and it seems like you start kind of if you're like on a boat,
Yeah.
how it kind of, I'm like, but your whole building is doing that, and you're like, whoa, man, earthquake. Did anybody feel that? And
Right.
they're like, no, I didn't feel that. But yeah, I started feeling that, man, and next thing I know, my inner voice was saying, just relax, everything's cool, you're gonna be all right. And man, like it was crazy, man. I'm laying back in my bed, and my relative was there with me, and he kept saying, just relax, and this is the crazy part. I mean, this is all crazy. But I'm looking up in tears, man, up the wall, the ceiling or whatever, and it felt like there was a presence there, but it was like it was tall. It was a tall presence, and it felt like it was like kind of looking into my energy inside my body. It was almost like I felt like I was at like a doctor's examination. It sounds really weird, dude. But it wasn't like I was forced, because they weren't forcing me. I was just kind of laying back, going with the flow, and just the energy was wild.
Did it feel more spiritual, or did it
really
feel more like extraterrestrial?
It felt more spiritual. I mean, but that's kind of why I wanted to just share this with you, man, because I still don't know what to think of it. I mean, I felt other presences around me, but I instantly get the urge to defend myself, or
Right.
I get goosebumps, or I get really kind of anxious. You know what I mean?
So
And
it's
just this
the
kind
feeling of the when you get the presence feeling, what kind of is it accompanied by like love and peace, or is it
It was
familiar
that
like
night.
it was, you said?
Yeah, it was that night. It was totally different, man. This was like the first time I think I encountered what they might call spirit guides or something. I'm not sure.
And actually felt familiar, like your dead loved one.
No, I knew who it was, man.
Mhm.
That's the only thing that got me through that, because like I could literally hear her saying,
Like, don't worry.
you just gotta relax right now. Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, it was something that like somebody close, like a mother or father would do, like so.
Right.
I just gave away who it was. Yeah, that's okay. They already know everything, man.
Well, what about
But no, I just wanted to share that
sleeping?
with
Do
you.
you have you had any strange dreams or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, most of my dreams are a bit strange, but they seem to be getting a little bit more vivid, and they seem to last a little longer, man. Like I used to have dreams, and I just remember maybe a few seconds from each little scenario or whatever was happening. But one dream I had, I was literally there for. Oh man, now you reminded me. Yeah, I literally was kind of telling myself, man, if this is not a dream, this is amazing, because it's like it was a different life for me, and I knew people that was in my house. They were in a new house that I had, and I was welcoming people to a party, and it was strange. I was like, "Hi, welcome to my house," and I was like, "This is weird." So I look in the mirror to see, what's going on, and I can literally remember doing that, like looking in. I'm like, man, my face looks a little different, but I'm like, is this a dream? And I'm literally like doing like kicks in the air to see if I just wake up or something, and I didn't wake up, and I'm like, this is kind of cool. Yeah. So let's just keep going with this, and it seemed to last like 10-15 minutes after that, and then I did finally wake up from it, and man, that was a strange one.
Now the shaking, I want to go back to the shaking, the earthquake feeling, because I think that's what Michelle and I were talking about, where it almost feels like, I don't know, you live right next to a train track and it's got the whole house sort of just shaking, not a super buzzy, fast vibration, but more of a rocking, slower, trembling vibration. And we've noticed that in the bed, almost like as you're crawling in the bed, it feels like the whole house is shaking. Or maybe you got a dog in the bed that's scratching himself and he's shaking the bed. That sort of feeling, but nothing's moving. It's just it's just in your body. You're feeling the energies and the vibrations. So you've been getting this standing up, though, right, John?
Oh yeah. I mean, whatever I seem to be doing, I'll just be sitting down, watching TV or playing a game or something, and I'll feel that kind of vibration of that pulse or whatever. And I'm like, man, hope that's not an earthquake, because that felt like kind of large,
Right. Yeah, that's amazing, because I've experienced that. My son plays video games right next to me, and sometimes I'll think I'm feeling it, but I'll have his foot going up and down really fast. So it's similar to that, because that feels almost identical, because I'll always check his feet to see if he's shaking. I'm like, is that me this time, or is that him? But it feels almost similar to, someone shaking right next to you or something.
So is it? So you're saying it could be? It's more like maybe my own vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, from what I've noticed, it's just me when I experience. No one else notices it, so it's an internal feeling, and the only thing I can think of is it's got to be like energy or something that I'm picking up on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the same for me, man. Because I would ask a friend, or we was driving in the car one time, me and my buddy, and I'm like, man, this is a really big earthquake. If I can feel it while we're in his car, going over here to get food or something. I'm like, dude, you don't notice like that kind of wobble? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just tripping,
Yeah, it's interesting.
But yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you, man, and like if and say to people who's gone through like hard times and stuff, don't let them get you down, because it's getting close, to a climax of things, and on the offhand, or on the other hand or whatever, it seems like the efforts or whatever, if there's an energy battle, pretty much what I'm trying to say is, it seems like the other side of the energy that wants to kind of use people and hurt people and stuff, seems like it's increasing too.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, and it is trying to hurt us, at least for me. That's just for me, everybody's like, oh, you're crazy and stuff, and I don't know.
You're not alone at all. And I think a lot of people are experiencing this sort of a ramp up, because it's like a desperate attempt to try to push whatever, and it doesn't even matter who we're talking about. They can be anybody from, whether it's political or spiritual, energetic stuff going on. It's happening on every single level right now. Everybody's trying to use this thing in an opportunistic way, and it can be used in a very positive way. But of course, the negative is going to try to capitalize on it too. But it's really our job to sort of stay focused on the positive and know that no weapon formed against us shall prosper, as the Christians say. I
Right,
think that's good advice, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I appreciate you for taking my call tonight, Shane.
I appreciate
keep watching
you, John.
the rest of your stream, man.
All right, buddy. You have a good one.
You,
Thanks for
you have
calling.
a good night.
All right, you
You too, sir.
All right, bye-bye.
Let's go.
You're listening to The Love Street.
Unbiased and on the fence.
All right. Let's see. You're going to go back to the phone lines. Looks like up next is 757 area code. Who am I talking to?
How you doing? My name's Steve.
Hey, Steve. How's it going? Thanks for calling in.
It's going great. Yeah, thanks for talking to me. I just wanted to hit on what John said about the earthquake feeling. I feel it too. I feel it a lot. And I kind of think it has something to do with being able to I don't know how to explain myself very well. It has something to do with being able to share your energy with different versions of yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying, Shane?
Right.
You can meditate and you can synchronize your energy. You can share your energy with different versions of yourself at different levels, like even the lower vibrational versions of yourself. I think that earthquake feeling is just you're synchronized at every level, at different levels. I think that's what that is.
Oh,
I just
okay.
got a feeling that's what that is. Does that make sense to you, sir?
Yeah, it's almost like all of your frequencies across all of the versions of you are sort of entrained to one another or in sync or something. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And I think there's more to it than just having positive energy and negative energy. There's also the neutral energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this small little group right here that's very confused and just doesn't understand what's going on, I believe we are neutral energy beings.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got to find our balance. Because the world isn't fair. You understand what I mean? It's like we could see that Shane, you're unbiased and on the fence. I mean, that right there tells me that you're neutral. You just see things from everybody's point of view, and you're not judgmental, but you understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's really the next level that we're trying to move to. Even what people consider to be the monsters or villains of the planet, they're all serving their purpose right now, and you can't have a hero without a villain. So, yeah, I think taking a step back is a really good way to look at this whole thing and not get sucked into it, and to keep your energy and your frequency right if you can not get pulled into the chaos and drama of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I may, I'd like to share just a life experience that's never happened to me before.
Yeah, please do.
Would you mind? Okay. Well, last Saturday, I was convinced that my dog Luna. No, I'm not a crazy person. First of all, Shane, I'm just sharing my experience with you.
You're in the right crowd. No worries.
Okay, thank you. All right, no judgments passed. That's good to know. I was convinced my dog Luna was possessed. Not possessed, but her avatar was in control of someone outside of what we can see. I don't want to say the Matrix, because I don't want to all of a sudden everybody be like, oh, this guy's you know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know the right term to say. But I'll just say that Luna was possessed by somebody that I know in my soul that this person is significant to me, and she said, if you trust me, come with me. I need to show you some things.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, I trust you. And at the time, I said, okay, let's go. So I put the collar on her, I put the leash on her, and I just let her take me. And I kept my eyes closed the whole time, and she pulled me through the neighborhood, across the main road, across the street to the church, and to the woods with my eyes closed, okay? The whole time my eyes were closed. And she's telling me, she's like, if you trust me, you'll take off all your worldly possessions. So I proceeded to continue on through the woods in my birthday suit. And she told me, come with me, I want to show you something. She took me through the woods and under this fence and to a lake. And at this lake, she said, when I tell you to let go of my collar, let go of my leash, I will not be in control of this avatar anymore, and just escape. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to escape to? And she's like, just get out of the matrix. And Shane, I ran up a tree in the bus, climbed up a tree, and I got as high as I can get. And the whole time I'm trying to climb this tree, these thorns are grabbing me and pulling me down, and it won't let me climb. And it's like, I get up to the tree, and something says, if you trust me, you'll fall. I let go, and I fell. I don't know how far I fell, but this happened at 7:30 Eastern time. And when I finally became aware of what I was doing and where I was at, it was like 11 something. And I woke up in the random stranger's backyard. The guy was an ex-cop, and I heard him calling out to his dog. Long story short, I go up there, I explain to them I don't have clothes. They give me clothes. I get to talking to them. They called my wife and my mother because they thought I had lost my mind. But they were very cool. This guy was an ex-cop, but it turns out, this goes back to synchronicity. Their daughter has the exact same birthday that I had.
Wow.
That was beyond crazy. But that's what happened to me. Oh, and on Earth Day, I don't know what the angel's trumpet's supposed to sound like, but on Earth Day, 10:30 Eastern time, I heard like a concussion in the air and the sound of like a loud ram's horn.
Oh, wow. What area do you live in?
I live in Virginia, near Virginia Beach, Newport News.
And that was on Earth Day? That's
That was on
4/22,
Earth Day,
right?
10:30. Yes, I got it written on my calendar because I was trying to give back to the earth. I was trying to straighten up my neighborhood. I wanted to raise the positive energy around here. And I was, making my yard look good. I wanted people to see it. And right before it happened, my dog started going crazy, and all the dogs in the neighborhood started going crazy. And I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I let Luna out of the backyard and come to the front yard with me. I was like, what's the matter, girl? And she's sitting at the end of the driveway with me. And all of a sudden, I hear this, not an explosion. It was like a concussion in the air. And then I heard the sound of like what could only be the loudest, biggest ram's horn I'd ever heard before in my life. And then right after that happened, all the birds started to fly away. And then all I could hear were sirens, like a fire engine, ambulance, cop cars, everything. All I felt was fear in the air for a minute or so after that. And I just sat there and I cried because that was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen before in my life. Felt, heard, experienced anything. I didn't imagine any of this.
When did that happen in relationship to the wandering out with a dog into the woods?
Well, that happened on 4/20, the Earth Day. This was the Saturday, the 25th. When I wandered off with the dog was the 25th.
Okay.
But,
so before that
Shane,
that's a pretty cool experience to happen then.
Yes, and I just wanted to share that with you because, I searched all over the internet. I heard similar sounds. Like if you go to YouTube, like strange sounds from the sky, and it sounds like that.
Yeah.
People catch it on their cell phones.
That's
was like exactly what I heard. But it was real. I heard it, and nobody else was outside to even witness it with me.
Right.
It was the
How
most
long
beautiful
did it go
thing. It was
off
like
for?
It lasted for maybe 15 seconds.
Wow, and it was sort of it's hard to tell when you're watching those videos like that, but it sounds like it's just echoing through the sky, like you can't even really tell what direction it's coming from. Was it like that for you?
No, I could tell the direction. It came from the same. It came from the same direction that the sun rises.
Okay.
That was the direction. So whatever.
East.
Yes, it came from like east, but you know how like the sun progresses a little bit.
Right.
So whatever time, 10:30, that's the direction. It came from the direction of the sun.
Wow, that's so interesting. So when that happened, that was on the 22nd on Earth Day, and of course you were blown away by that. And then how did on the 25th with the dog? How did that whole thing start? What was the first indication that your dog wasn't acting normal? It woke you up, or what happened again?
Just living life. I guess there's a lot of stress. I don't know, the stress of life, but I felt like this energy surging in me. Like I felt amped up and ready to go, and it just I kept questioning everything. I prayed to the Lord. I asked him for guidance. I just needed to know that I wasn't losing my mind. I did not ask him for the answers. I just asked him for the strength to figure this out on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And then shortly thereafter, that's when me and Luna went on a spirit walk together.
Do you ever meditate?
I just recently started meditating. I don't know exactly how to do it right, but when it hits, I feel it. I feel everything go away. So I'd like to learn how to do it a little better.
Well, I like to tell people that don't meditate to just take a moment and stop. And just like, you know, you might hear somebody come in the front door of your house, and you take that moment and you're listening carefully. You're like, did I hear somebody come in? And you get in listening mode, and instead of your brain chattering, it's quiet for a moment because you're listening. And it's like that, except you're not listening for something in your house. You're listening for a word from your higher team or whatever. It's sort of just being in the moment and being in receiving mode, because I think a lot of times we're just rambling on in our head, and you know, even if they do talk, we don't know if it's just our head rambling and the voice in our head rambling, or them trying to get through to us. But a lot of times if you just stop and actually listen with your eyes closed, it automatically drops you into alpha to take a deep breath and close your eyes and then just listen for a moment. And you don't even have to do it for very long, 10 or 20 seconds, and see if anything comes through. If not, you know, carry on. But, you know, to have that moment of listening every now and then is a really good exercise. You'll be surprised what you'll get in those moments too.
Thank you for sharing that nugget of wisdom with me. I also, when I asked the Lord for the strength to figure out what was going on, my whole life I've always felt nervous. I always feel nervous around certain people, or scared around certain people. And sometimes I'll feel happy around certain people. I don't even know these people. I'll feel scared, happy, nervous, familiar, whatever. This whole time I thought it was the feeling that I was feeling. But those aren't my feelings that I'm feeling. I'm feeling their feelings.
Exactly. I'm glad you noticed that. How did you notice it wasn't yours?
Because my daughter, Kaylee, she was upset about something that I was totally okay with, and then I just got struck with like the heaviest fear and sadness, and I got this ringing in my ears that I always get, that I know is not tinnitus. I don't care what anybody says. It's not tinnitus. I think it's something to do with I'm not very articulate. I'm sorry, but it's got something to do spiritually wise. But Kaylee helped me put me onto that. And then once I figured out, I looked at her. I said, Kaylee, what are you so afraid of? She's like, I'm not. I said, Kaylee, I feel very, very scared right now, and the only thing that's changed is you came near me. Can you please tell me what you're afraid of? And then she broke down and finally told me what it was that she was afraid of. It's irrelevant to, you know, our conversation, but that kind of, I was able to put two and two together. And the rest of that day I went with my feelings, what I was feeling around strangers. Now, I'm not the type of person to talk to random strangers, but I'll be walking past someone, and I'll feel afraid, and I'll stop and be like, hey, how you doing, sir? Hey neighbor, how are you? My name's Steve. And then immediately I could feel like the fear go away, and it's just like this ambiguous feeling, I guess. And then from there, I try to project like positive feelings to them, and then I walk away from the experience feeling better. But it's not me that feels better; it's that person I was just talking to. So I mean, I've been trying to do this intuitive feeling thing. Is that what it's called, Shane?
It's so cool because
quite a bit.
It's so cool to see these, you experiencing these abilities, and to be so new to it and everything, and to see people in the chat getting excited, high vibe, and saying Steve is an empath. So yeah, I think you're just picking up, and I've been noticing that too. The more I've gotten my own vibes under control, I'll be peaceful, and I'll get this wave of, really bad depression that I can tell isn't coming from me, because I have nothing to be depressed about at that moment, but I could tell that very real, and as soon as I recognize that it's not mine and I don't take it on, I can sort of transmute it into something positive. And I think a lot of us are doing this at this time right now, and it's helping keep things peaceful and loving, as we take this energy and we transmute it. And that's exactly what you did. You took this person's fearful energy and you turned it into something positive, and it's so cool to see you intuitively respond the way you should have,
Well, see, I'm 38 years old. I've gone my entire life like this. And I'm going to tell you what, Shane, I feel like I'm living life right now. I haven't felt this good my entire life ever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was just born.
Yeah.
And it's just so hard because the area I live in is a very, very powerful negative energy place. So, I mean, I have to get away from the area I'm at to go to like a park, Newport News Park. I like to play disc golf. I mean, I get out there and it's peaceful, and I have to pick and choose who I surround myself with now.
Yeah.
I'm testing myself further. I went and played, I think it was Tuesday, with a good friend of mine, and he is a balanced negative energy person. And I was able to connect with him on a level that I had never been able to connect with anybody before, because it was just us in the park. It's, under this whole quarantine thing, we're not supposed to go anywhere. But in Virginia, you're allowed to go out and get exercise. But and that hit home for me. And then these last couple of days have been rough for me, because I remember that I'm supposed to be an intuitive feeler, I guess you could say, but when I listen to your show, it reminds me, because, like a child always forgets things. I forget what I'm doing, and it's hard to find my center and balance. And if there's anybody in the chat or anybody you can recommend me to for, like, mentoring, I would like to be mentored. I would like to learn how to use these abilities better. So I can't see the chat. I had to step away from my house, and I'm outside on the phone, but Shane, thank you for
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll let, if anybody knows anybody. I think, I'm trying to think of who I know. I know Alex that I have on, Indigo Light. I think he does stuff like that. Do you know Indigo Light? Alex from... I think he does mentoring.
But you were talking to somebody, the Merkaba carpet ride or something.
Yeah.
Everything that guy, when I saw you talking to him, everything that guy said, I had already known at some level. And as he was talking, I had more to add to it, but I'd have to listen to the podcast or the webcast again to add to it. But that guy right there, he's onto something.
That's so funny that you said that, because so many times with him, I'll turn on this video and I can tell he was intuitively getting what I was getting. Not from me, just, it's like these trends that people pick up on. And it's like, I noticed that with the group, whether it's like Matt Kahn or Merkaba Carpet, I'll get something that they'll have a video about, and they put the video out before me, yet I didn't see it until after I'd sort of received it. So you can tell it's really cool to see how spirit is talking to us, and we will know things. I get that with Magenta Pixie a lot too, where I might not completely understand, but I know what she's saying is right. So.
Yeah, well, I'm scared to death of that Aaron Daughtry guy. You posted something about him. Look, I'm telling you, Shane, I've got the worst feeling in the world about his message. It's scary. It's almost like deception. I can't explain it. It's a selfish message. To me, I feel like it's a fake message targeted at people like us to try to confuse us. That's just me, though. I got an email from the guy talking about how I was a wizard and how I had to unlock my shadow self, and I was invited to a webinar that I had to view from a desktop. And did you join his mailing list too?
Yeah, I did get on the mailing list, and I got the customized meditation, like the guided meditation, but I didn't do any webinars or anything. I think he offered something like that, but I just
he did. It was a select few people. He said that he had set it up for it. I think when I tried to log into it from my phone, but my inner self said, no, stop, took the phone away from me and held it down so I couldn't look at it. And it was almost like somebody was controlling my body, saying, "Stop! Don't do this. This isn't right." But that,
it
right
could
before
also
that,
be it could also be it wasn't right for you too, because I've had a lot of times like where somebody's doing their one thing, maybe picketing or something, and that's not for me, but maybe it is for them, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So it could have just not been so much that it was a bad message for everyone, but that it just wasn't a good message for you at the time or something.
You're exactly right, Shane. But I just
yeah, I don't know. I'm
trust
just saying. I'm saying, yeah, definitely trust yourself with it. But like anyone else, I would say if you feel like you should listen to it, go ahead and listen to it and do it. But just sort of listening to that internal guidance is, I always send everybody within. Go within and see what you feel like is right for you.
Dude, the solid three that I feel strongly resonate with me the most is you, Cynthia Sue Larson, and the quantum businessman. You three right there. I mean, you three can run the world. You three can get together and figure this out. I mean, the three of you together are just such a powerful energy. I'm not trying to discredit anyone else that was aboard the Mandela Effect conference team or whatever. I'm not saying anything negative whatsoever about them. I'm just saying the three of you, you three are very powerful influences over me right now. Your messages are just pure.
I appreciate it.
I feel like I'm on the same page. I'm like a child just awake for the first time, learning everything that...
I feel like that too, though.
Yeah. So please just, I really appreciate the chance to share with you. And I don't want to take up any more of your time than I have already because, there are others that would like to talk to you as well.
Hey, and Danica's saying she took the same Aaron Doherty quiz and felt the same way about him, Steve. So you're not alone with that.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought that the quiz was kind of like, it's more for fun than it is. I don't know. I thought it was something entertaining to do. Actually, I didn't think of it as something for the group as much as something for the group to use with other people in their family to sort of raise interest about spirituality. I thought it was neat, you know what I mean, on a personal level, but with people getting stuck in their homes, I thought, this is a little quiz people can do and, maybe do a little meditation where they never get to meditate too much. And so I was thinking using it as more as a tool than a personal, something.
Yeah, so. And one more thing before I go, if we could all just pull our kids away from their mobile devices, pull them away from YouTube, Roblox, all those games. I think that our children are becoming brainwashed right under our noses, and we don't even realize the severity of it, though. That's the only thing I wanted to share with everyone before I got off the phone here. But Shane,
I appreciate that.
This is a very, very powerful experience for me. Thank you so much for allowing me to share with you on your platform.
Oh, no problem at all, man. Thanks for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. Lots of love to you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right, let's see. Thank you so much, Steve. Wild experiences. If you guys have anything like that or you want to chime in on what you think might be going on with his experience, please do. I think the veil is thinning, though, and we're starting to see... I know I'm seeing a lot more orbs and shadowy and light figures and things that... I don't know, it just seems like my third eye is beginning to open, and I'm seeing more, especially at night, looking at the sky. And I meant to ask Steve if he was experiencing more stuff like that as well, because I think it's sort of all related. It's all... The veil's thinning, Okay, going to go back to the phone lines. Let's see, 661 area code. Who am I talking to?
Hello?
Hello, are you there? Check 1 2, 661 area code. Are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, who am I talking to?
This is High Vibe in 888.
Oh, what is up? How's it going, Maria?
Hi. Good. I'm using my new headphones. It has a microphone in it. I just wanted to see how I sound it.
Sounds great. You're coming through nice and clear.
Good. I was trying to call in through my laptop, but it kept saying the server was down. So I had
That's
to
weird.
use my cell phone to call directly.
Well, that's cool. It's coming
Anyways,
through
Shane,
nice though. So what did you think of everything so far?
dude, Steve. Okay,
Hmm.
it's true. I've been getting these messages for months now
Mhm.
that that these energies that we've been getting bombarded with, that we're going through, these the energy, the light has light codes, and the codes that we absorb, there's some activations going on in the DNA level, and it's like activating our innate abilities, and they're starting to come online because these abilities can function at this dimension, this vibration, this frequency that we're in right now.
Mhm.
It's like tuning in. We're starting to tune in now, and we're starting to see more. It's like that saying, the veil is thinner. It's the
Mhm.
frequencies.
Yeah.
So the higher you vibrate, the more you can see. There's more out there. Just like when you took the LSD and you
Mhm.
could see more, expanded. Your mind is expanded when you when you're elevating in vibration.
Mhm.
Your mind expands.
Right.
So of course you're gonna start seeing more and experiencing more. That's what's to be expected for us that have already awakened, and even the ones that are just starting to, because they're starting to notice things too. So
Have you
yeah, this is really cool.
yeah, have you heard anything about these trumpets, these loud sounds in the sky? Have you seen any of those videos before, like Steve experienced?
Yeah. I experienced that once, but that was back in the 90s.
Oh,
But
really?
for
Wow.
me, yeah, I've seen the videos. I've heard these weird ass sounds in the sky. And I'm
Mhm.
like, whoa, it sounds like trumpets or something, or like he said, ram's horn.
Mhm.
Like that's like the in the Jewish traditions, with the
Right.
ram's horn.
If I heard that, I'd be straight
Right.
up looking for Jesus in the sky. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, the
Oh
rapture!
my
It's really
God,
happening like
right?
they said."
Dude,
I'd be
because that's
like,
what happened to me. Because like I was waking up, I was asleep, so I was having a lucid dream, and I heard these trumpets, and they were loud in the sky, and I ran outside, and I'm like, Jesus is coming, he's here, I'm
yeah.
like really tripping, but then I wake up, and I'm still hearing it. I'm sitting in bed, I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming, but I'm still hearing it,
Mm.
and then it started to fade after like 30 seconds. I don't know, it lasted a while, but you know what was carrying that sound?
What?
A distant freight train.
Oh.
So I guess I was hearing it a distortion. It was the freight train I was hearing, but dude, they were trumpets. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I tapped into the supernatural because I was always able to do that anyways. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I thought Jesus was. I was gonna like wake up the whole house. It's like Jesus is here. It's time for the rapture.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's what I always,
Yeah,
even as
but
a kid, I was like, whenever I hear the trumpets, I know it's time, because I thought there was always going to be the trumpets. That was the first indicator.
Shane, all the teachings that we've learned in our quest for enlightenment, with
Mm-hmm.
especially I'm speaking about Christians.
Mm-hmm.
Things, I can read the Bible now, and my perspective is so different now. It's like now I understand it at a higher I don't know. It's hard to describe it,
Oh, I totally get what you're
but
saying. You can totally read it and get a whole
okay,
different thing out of it
all
now.
right.
You're like, wow. Yeah.
It's so hard for me to describe what when I get these revelations or okay. Remember you hooked me and Ruth up for a BQH,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my BQH last Monday,
Mm-hmm.
but I was going to share something with you guys on Friday, but then he couldn't. The show was canceled.
Oh, that's right.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So then I'm like, okay, I wasn't going to call in today. I'm like, I didn't feel like it. I'm like, I don't feel like it, but then I kept feeling nudged.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was that kid, Steve, that kid. Okay, because in the BQH, because I kind of know this already because I've been noticing this pattern. But in the BQH, I tapped into a healer from 5,000 years ago. He says his name was, doesn't matter what his name was, Pika, whatever. But it was in the Himalayas, and he was some cave shaman. And I guess it was another aspect of me. And I've been seeing this weird cave dude in my visions. So finally I got more details of who he is and why I'm connected to him, and because my healing is coming online. My healing abilities are coming online. Or yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I don't even know. I was channeling. They said I was going to start channeling. And I was already channeling when I did readings for people. But I think it's expanded. I can hold more energy now. But they've been grooming me. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool to understand that, to know the BQH dude. Man, I learned a lot about myself. And then I freaked out after the BQH was over, and I listened to it because I didn't remember it. I didn't remember it. So she told me to wait 24 hours if I wanted to, because that's what I usually do when I listen to my own recordings. But I couldn't wait. So I waited about 6 hours and I listened to it. It freaked me out so much that I wanted to back out of spirituality. I didn't want to do this work anymore. I was freaking. I was on the chat going, I don't want to do this. And I had 2 clients coming in 15 minutes, and I'm breaking down, freaking out, because I felt like I wasn't ready. I felt like I wasn't ready. But then a couple of days later, Ruth and I, she, touched base with me, see how I was doing. And I told her I was freaking out. And she goes, well, she shouldn't be freaking out. But she talked to me, and while we were talking, I was getting activations. Like I don't know what she was doing, because something was coming out of her when she spoke of, she was walking me through different parts of my BQH. It would trigger something within me, and I felt elevated. And the more we talked for almost, I think it was almost 2 hours. I don't know. Time doesn't exist with me anymore. But anyways, I felt like something was happening, like there was more to it. Like it was still an ongoing thing, even though the BQH happened 3 days prior. As soon as I connected with her, it continued. Like I felt activated more. I did readings right after I finished talking to her on the phone. All of a sudden, people were calling me up, and I did 4 of them, and I connected so easily, and I was channeling their higher selves. I was channeling some of them have groups that they channel. They don't even know they channel. What I found out about myself is that I help activate light workers that are ready for up-leveling. It's like I have this ability. They use me. I don't do it. Spirit uses me. If I've noticed that third eye expansions, crown expansions, chakra balancing, I can just tap in and find out what kind of clairs you have and increase them. I tap into your healing guides. I have access to all the Akashic records. I'm blown away. That's why I was freaking out. This is too much for me. And I know, I can't believe this is happening to me. But now I know that all this grooming my whole life just come to this. And
well, did you feel like it was the BQH that activated more, or?
Yes, I think the BQH was a catalyst for the next level of my journey. I don't know.
That's what Sherry
I'm not
said
kidding.
too. She said she's been experiencing more, and I think if she could let go of fear, she'd probably be able to channel more too. But she doesn't really have the desire to do it by herself. She doesn't even like to really do the sessions with us because it kind of creeps her out that she can't remember it. Was that a big issue for you, that you couldn't really remember what you
Yeah.
said until later?
Yeah, it was freaking me out. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, I'm not doing this stuff.
Right.
Like, heck no. Because you know what? I didn't remember any of it. And then when I think bits and pieces were coming back to me when I was listening to it. But then when I would listen to myself channeling a being, my voice changed.
Yeah.
I had different accents.
Yeah.
My cheeks wouldn't stop smiling. There was one group that came in that was just smiling. Oh, I think it was St. Paul. St. Paul is my guide, one of my guides. But he was smiling because he was having a personal dialogue with Ruth. Because Ruth had personal issues with him. But he was talking to her, and he was smiling so hard. Okay, so when I couldn't stop smiling, and I don't know, I was like, that's a weird-looking grin on my face. I'm like, that's creepy. I'm like, no, I can't do this. This is too weird. But I realize now that this is a great, beautiful gift.
It is. I'm glad
And,
you can see that because, it's so funny that I see somebody like, Sherry that can do it so well and she doesn't really dig it too much. But it's clearly some sort of gift she has, and and then other people that have a difficult time connecting in a session, would love to be able to have that gift. And it's just so funny that we always want what we don't have, It's just, I don't know. If you have blue eyes, you want brown eyes, and vice versa. So.
Right. But I've come across light workers that didn't know they were, and I told them what their abilities were, and that if they wanted them activated, and they said, nope. Nope. They're not ready. They're just not ready. And some of them say, I kind of knew already because I kind of see things, or I have weird dreams or whatever, but nope. I'm like, okay, but if you ever want to, here's my card, that kind of stuff. But not everybody. But I did a reading for an 85-year-old woman one time, and I was the only medium card reader. The other card readers were psychic readers, intuitive readers, but I was the only medium there. She came to me because she wanted to know why she keeps seeing a little boy. And I tapped into her, dude, she was a medium since she was a little girl her whole life. And I'm like, you can see spirits. And she goes, oh, I want to learn how to use his abilities. So I just gave her some, I'm like, dude, I learned by watching YouTube. I don't know. I never went to school to be a medium, but I did take a class on, it was an intuitive intensive class, and it was like a 3-month program, and it was worth it because I learned about how to meditate. I learned about the chakras. I learned a lot about spiritual stuff because I wasn't into that. I was just a closed-minded Christian woman, So this was all new to me. So going through that process, learning how to ground myself, how to, open up your crown to connect. I first learned how to meditate. I couldn't meditate for the life of me. I think after my awakening, it took me about 6 months to finally try because I just couldn't. But then I decided to do guided meditation. Those helped open the door, man. The guided meditations for beginners.
Yeah.
Try the guided ones because after that, then you start to move on to concentrate on different chakras to balance them out. That helps too. You listen to different tones. And then from there,
the binaural
you go
beats?
further. Yeah, it's a binaural beats because I graduated to that. After I started noticing I could feel it in each chakra. I could feel when I concentrated on just one chakra, I used like the solar plexus one. Boy, I could feel it in my belly. Like, wow, I could feel that.
Yeah.
I was becoming more sensitive to energy. So the more if you want to pursue this path of enlightenment, you know what? I have to say sorry that that's where we're all going anyway. Because I'm thinking, nope, okay, they're not ready yet, but this stuff is happening faster now that they got to catch up, dude. They got to catch up because it's going to be harder. If your vibrations aren't high enough, that's when you struggle more.
Yeah.
When the vibrations become more intense. So the more energy that you can hold, the higher you can expand, the less the energies will affect you as harshly.
Right.
As we're all learning this, and we're all just don't fight it.
Yeah.
Just relax into it. All you can do, man, is you can't hide from this shit. Sorry.
No, that's absolutely right, though. That's absolutely right, though, because it can get so intense that you can either get thrown about in this anxiety that can get overwhelming and powerful at times, or you can, like, take a moment and stop and pull that in and just transmute it into bliss and perfection and excitement of the moment. But, I mean, you have to consciously do that because otherwise you're sort of just bouncing off the walls at times, you know?
Right. You guys were talking about how you can pick up on the collective energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think Sandy was talking about in the beginning when this all started, and then she started feeling that anxiety and stuff, and it happened to me too several times. They come in waves, and now, and like you said, you listen to other people that can read the energy in the air, like the carpet dude. I like him. He's awesome.
Oh, Marco Carpet.
Yeah. He's cool. Yeah, I really resonated with him too very much. I just freaking love your show, man. There ain't no other show like yours.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I was just watching his channel. It's like, it's like we got this whole band of these really small channels, and I think it's purposely kept that way. So while you can take the whole victim mentality, I love the whole tight knit community we have.
I know, and we, most of us, because we gravitate to the same energy because we're on the same soul group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're just that's what's happening too now. I'm getting messages like that through the readings that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm connecting people with their other aspects.
Yeah.
With their their galactic selves, their even selves from like the ancient times. I'm connecting people with them because the soul groups are collecting all the fractals because we're becoming one higher self. We're graduating into these glorified bodies like Jesus, Buddha. I'm so excited. I always get excited when I get on and I think, I don't know. I'm just glad that, you know what? Because like last week when I was freaking out, and you guys were, I forgot what show it was, but I was saying I got 2 clients in 15 minutes, and I'm freaking out because I don't want to do the spiritual work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Alba was encouraging me, and everybody started coming together, and then you said that too. You guys were sending me this energy that I could feel it, dude. I felt that. Love comes from you guys.
Oh, yeah. I remember sending you that.
Yep. And I was able to do 2 back-to-back. It was a couple. I do one, and then I had to do the other, but I was blown away by how much more they got out of the reading than I've ever been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is intense. It's like I don't know. I graduated. Now, I'm not saying all this. No. I'm not trying to advertise my stuff. No. Because all the readings that I have been done already, I've been following. Remember, I told you I got hooked up with Marina Jacoby.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there was that one where she says not to charge for your readings.
Mm-hmm.
I was charging. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But she said not to. She said, just do like a donation. So I went on my website and I changed my buttons. I changed my prices because I was doing mediumship readings for $111, and I was doing card readings 45-minute card intuitive readings were $66, and I think I was charging $88 for mediumship, and I was only doing families, past loved ones. I was only doing that, but they just kept morphing into bigger, more. I got to connect to every level. I'm a multidimensional medium now. It's not just here this level. Oh yeah, I can see angels too. No, I see beings from dimensions that, I'm still processing it.
Well, that's awesome. I'm like blown away that you were so good at doing the BQH, because a lot of what I come across is if somebody is like able to connect outside the BQH, like you're able to do so well, they typically will be really conscious during the session, and it'll be sort of, I don't know, sort of like my session was. I never, there was parts of it that I kind of had forgotten about until I listened to it again, but only just because I'd forgotten. I was in this deep meditative state. It was almost like a guided meditation more than it was like I was in a trance and I didn't remember anything. So I don't know. It's hard. Every session is so different, but typically people that already have a connection will have a good session, but they typically don't go really deep like you did. They don't remember. Just like Sherry, she has all sorts of experiences, but she's able to go really deep. But she's not, I don't know. She gets words all the time too, so I don't really know. I guess there's really no rule.
I don't know how it works for Sherry, because I'm really drawn to Sherry's, because her life's similar to mine. Not her life, but her spiritual, like her abilities.
Right.
Her abilities are very similar to mine. And I know she can do what I can do, but she has a lot of fear that she needs to release. And why are we talking about porn? I'm sorry. I don't have permission to talk about her. So anyways, I pick up on a lot of you guys, but I keep everything to myself. But anyways, sorry. Yeah,
we're all family here. It's fine.
Counselor. I'm like turning like a counselor, and I'm not a teacher because I don't talk right. This is me. But my guides always tell me, just be you. And I'm like, okay, because I feel like I'm not a teacher status. I'm not intelligent enough or whatever.
I know. I'm the same exact way. I'm like, I'm not a teacher. I don't put a label of a teacher on me. But it's so funny because I wanted to go be an art teacher, but some for some reason I have this rejection to trying to be any kind of spiritual leader, because I feel like, I'll never be done learning. I'll just share what I'll share what I'm doing.
I'm learning. That's why I'm always so freaking excited. Like I feel like I'm a kid, like that, like the kid, like Steve. Like I feel like I'm brand new. It's like every time I elevate and you find out, holy crap, I can do that too. Holy crap, I can see that now. I'm like seeing it happening on a global level. I mean, oh my God, we're changing. And I'm just some goofy chick, man, that just loves his magic. Oh my God.
I know, me too.
I can't even.
It's so cool to see so many magical things. I mean, I've gone from seeing just lots of like synchronicities to some really magical stuff happening, and I'm like, wow, that's like the chances of that happening are like, I could have won the lottery, And it feels like that.
I know I don't have her permission, but I gotta tell you, at Ruth, that woman has some gifts.
She's
a healer. She's a healer, and she's clairvoyant, and she got activated. I'm sorry, Ruth. I just have to say it. I'm just so excited. She got activated to be. She's a prophetess. She's got the prophet Daniel as a guide. And she's got awesome. Metatron helping her with her abilities. This is amazing. I'm like, dang, Archangel Metatron's with her. Yeah, he helped me out in the beginning, too, when I first woke up. I saw him a lot. When I first met him, I didn't know. I just kept seeing a pillar of light with wings. But that's all I saw. And a white light. And then finally I asked him, who are you? Are you an angel? And I heard Tron. Just Tron. And I said, like the movie Tron?
Yeah.
And then he spelled it Tron. He spelled it because I'm very clairvoyant. So I see mostly. I'm very clear audience too, so I can hear and see. So he spelled it out with big neon letters, Tron, in capital letters. I'm like, Tron. Okay, so I got to check into the Looney Tunes hospital because this is not happening. So I'm thinking, well, what are you? Because I thought, are you like, I didn't really believe in aliens either, okay? So, and I thought angels only appear to the really religious people, like in the Bible, not to like normal people like me. So, anyways, I never heard of the word Metatron before, but I don't know. I was guided on YouTube. YouTube really did it for me, man. YouTube is the best tool ever right now. So,
I know. And people say, yeah, and it's like, it doesn't matter with the algorithm. It's like the team gets people videos. I don't know how they do it, but people stumble across stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how you found me. You can't hardly find me on purpose, but people will share a link or something. So I'm not worried about that. I know that we got this whole invisible team that's helping us out, helping make these connections and stuff. And it's just like we just need to show up, put our positive intentions into it. And not try to control too much,
It's true, dude, because I got sucked into the conspiracy theories there for a while, and I was just feeding my Facebook page. I was sending videos to people who didn't want to hear it. Scaring people. I'm like, oh no, this is gonna happen. That's gonna happen. I was freaking out. My son's trying to calm me down. And so I'm like, and then I got a channeling in the BQH. As Ruth asked, is there any messages for anybody else, like other people, like light workers, whatever? So I don't remember how it went. Because I just finished, actually today, I just finished dictating it. I listened to it. It took me all week. Just to do a paragraph, it took me like a 5 minutes of material took me 2 hours to type up. So now I'm going to post some of it on my blog. But anyways, so one of the messages was that the light workers are being pulled away from their original mission because they're being pulled away by fear because of these conspiracy theories. And hey, what they said was everything is happening as it should. We are in this world, but we are not of this world. Because we're elevating from this. Like, everything that's going to happen is going to happen.
Right.
And we're helping it along. We're the ones that's making it happen. We're the ones that, okay, and there's also, I'm sorry, I'm just rambling.
This is good.
Get these, okay, because I'm feeling tapped in big time. Okay, look, when we're, you guys already know this. Whatever you are drawn to, whatever you're focusing on, that's your reality. And if you're focusing on that outcome, that apocalyptic outcome, you will experience it. If you're focusing on the love and the light and the enlightenment and the Christ consciousness and the 5D and the utopia and the unity consciousness and just a beautiful, peaceful world with enlightened beings, light beings. That's where we're going. That's my group. That's you guys. That's you guys.
Right.
So, yeah. I don't know where that came from, but yeah. Yeah. God, I'm messed up. Dude, I don't need drugs.
Nope, no need drugs, do we?
Nope.
It's hard to keep up as it is.
I know. It's like, oh yeah, that's another thing. We're constantly vibrating in and out of different realities, and that's part of the Mandela effect. That's what I've been taking. That's what I've been learning. That's what they've been telling me. Something about vibrations, and what was real in one dimension doesn't isn't because there's so many layers, and each dimension has layers, and and we're all on different levels of these layers. It's just so hard to explain. My head feels like it's gonna explode. Oh my god, I don't even know.
I know,
how.
and it's like
But I don't even know how Magenta Pixie does it, man. She's
yeah.
that's why she's so hard. She's so hard, but I love her too. It's like because I feel it. Look, dude. I know I don't want to talk political because, dude, I was into that shit. Sorry, a long time ago. My husband and I used to really get into it. Well, we were both on the same political, belief system, whatever.
That helps.
Okay. So as I got in my life, yeah, because we would make fun of the other, how it went. So, but okay, most Christians are, anyways, a certain political. Okay, well, let me get to the point. When Hillary was running, dude, ever since Clinton was president, I'm sorry, here we go. I felt something. I don't know what it was. It was dark. I just did not like them. And I was surrounded by all these people who just loved her, and I just couldn't. But she's so good. She does this, blah, blah, blah. How could you not like her? I said, I don't know, dude, but it's her energy. Just like you guys all know, you empaths, you guys know. And if you're tapped in, you know. Okay, so anyways, my mom gave me her biography book. Big, fat, thick book with a freaking picture on it. What did I do? I went out in the desert, got my shotgun, and shot that thing up. That's sorry. Okay. Okay. And then I'm sorry. It kept going on. I kept feeling that for different candidates. I could feel it, and I know which ones aren't and which ones are. So one day, I was very biased, and I knew who I was going to vote for. Okay, because I just could not have that snake-eyed person as a president. I just could not do it. So I voted the other way, but man, I was like, man, this guy don't know how to talk like me. You don't know how to talk. Like, he was getting me mad, but at the same time, my heart knew that something good was coming, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew they had a big role in it. So one night, I had a dream about him. And I saw the earth. I was like floating in space, and I saw the earth. And I guess I was complaining about him. I'm like, man, this is embarrassing. But then again, I was shown that the people who want change got him elected. It was an energetic push because we were ready for change. Yeah. And what this person, though, he was not trained. He's not a politician, so he don't talk like one, right?
Right.
He don't talk like one. He is authentic. This is who he is. Very egotistic.
That's actually the problem. It's like people want him to be faker. It's like he's a little too authentic.
They want
for people,
it, and I'm like, really? But we really want it changed, right?
Yeah. I mean, at least you can see. At least you can see his intentions. You know what I mean? It's not like he's just saying what you want to hear. You know what I mean? He's clearly not that kind of guy. There.
And then that video that came out, that one, the Shadows one, man, that really, I started sharing that theme all over the place.
Yeah, Out of Shadows.
That one you guys were talking about last, Out of the Shadows, yeah. So that was very informative. But anyways, but this vision, back to this vision, was it a vision or a dream? They're always the same anyways. Okay. So I see his higher self standing on top of the whole earth, like a giant golden light beam. So big, he could touch the moon from where he was standing. It was huge, and I saw his higher self. And the divine hand in all this, that his higher self is not like this guy. So that's who his heart is. They showed me who he truly is. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to back off. I'm going to let everything just go where they're made, because this is obviously some kind of orchestrated event that's happening
on multiple levels.
And we're all part on multiple levels,
Yeah.
and we are a part of it, because
Yep.
we all are creators, and this is how we want it to end. So it's like, okay, we're ready. This is what I'm getting to, and Ruth agrees, because she really opened my mind to this. I mean, I know you guys talked about it before, but, we each have our own timing, our own, like, we hear these concepts over and over again, yet we're like, yeah, that sounds nice, but you don't really get it until it clicks one day, until it just sinks in, like that file that was folded in, that code that came in when that wave hit you. Open up that file, because these are all memories. We already know everything.
Right.
We already know everything. Yeah. But we're in this, we're unfolding. Okay. I don't even know. See, this happened to that Merc Up a Carpet guy, where you just lose track.
Oh, yeah. It happens to me and Michelle all the time, too. But, yeah, in fact, I had something I was going to say. I lost it now. See, we just got hit with the wave. Let me see what the Schumann's doing here while we're talking.
Yeah, so...
Because I noticed a weird sensation, and I checked it, and it was going crazy. So, let's see.
Yep.
See if I can use the Schumann as an excuse. Well, we've had it's pretty calm right now, but we've had some pretty extreme blasts over the last couple of days, it looks like. So that's my excuse anyway, Maria.
Well, let me tell you what else I learned in my BQH, because I noticed this about myself. But now it's even stronger, dude. Okay. I noticed that when I do energy work on people, they feel it. Or if I'm doing a mediumship reading and I say, your son is wrapping his arms around you right now as we speak, and you're going to feel it right now. And they feel it. And they start crying because they can feel the energy of the spirit. It's like I'm able to project what I'm feeling, because I have all my clairs are open, every single one of them. I can feel them on all levels of emotions. Just, it's hard to explain. So it's like I can channel the spirit.
Right.
And then I can project the energy of that spirit onto what I'm feeling. I can let you feel it too.
What's that called?
Weird.
Is there a name for that?
I don't know, dude. It only happened to me. Okay, so far it's happened to me. Okay, when it first happened, it freaked me out. Then it happened again like a week later. Then it happened again. Now it happens almost all the time. Whenever I connect with a client, they can feel something.
Wow.
But some of them that are not ready to feel it, if they're not sensitive to energy, they won't feel it. Like I had a client that's very, she's open to spirituality. She follows, Abraham Hicks and stuff, but she's very left brain, very logical, very scientific, and she doesn't believe things unless she needs to be proof. And everything I'm doing right now, I'm just learning how to use Skype, because that's the way it is right now. So I'm not very good on Skype, but she can feel it. You feel something happening, and while the energy work is going on, I can see who steps in, who's working on you, your higher self, alien beings, ETs, angels. Oh, there's, that some of them come in for a particular area of your body. I'm noticing that. I'm working with all kinds of ascended masters, and I'm just blown away, and I just feel sick over it.
So this is really ramped up for you. This is really ramped up for you, and especially since the BQH session. Then.
Right. So, because what's happening is like we're way showers, right? So it's like, okay, this is happening to me because this happened to me so fast from my awakening in 2017. It's what, 3 years? And I'm like, I went from a really rigid Christian woman, Bible thumping.
Wait, since in 2017?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh, Maria, you've been fast tracked like me. It was.
Yep.
People talk about like 2017. We've been at this since 1992, and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm glad they waited to wake me up, guys. I'm not gonna lie, because I would have been like, oh my gosh, 20 more years.
You know, what they told me was that I had to experience everything I had to experience first, because even though I had these abilities since I've been a child, I had such a very, very hard childhood. The abuse, most of us light workers or healers have come from such harsh childhoods and upbringings and relationships and all kinds of traumas. And I've experienced so many different types of traumas. Like, I was being fast-tracked, dude. Like, you're going to learn everything in this lifetime quick.
Yeah.
So now they're letting me know that the reason why is because now the clients that come to me, I understand most every subject. It's like, I've been there.
Right.
I know what that's
yeah.
about.
Yep. It just helps you relate so much better.
Yep. So I relate to them, and and sometimes I don't know, and I just choose. Like, look, dude, I never heard of that guy. Look that stuff up. I'm just here giving you the message, but I don't know everything. I don't claim I know everything, but we're just working for spirit right now. So they're using us in a great way, Shane, regardless of our limitations that we put on ourselves. Because I've learned from this BQH that I freaking rock, man. I don't feel I'm embracing this now. And so you were part of this. You were part of this because your platform that introduced me to Ruth, who is a powerful healer, and oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah, that means so much to me too. I love to see, and it happens on so many levels with people meeting each other, and then they continue to hang out and meet each other after we do our little get-togethers and stuff, and it just means the world to me because I can actually see the effects of how I'm being used by the higher realms, and it just touches my heart. So.
Yeah, you just have no idea how much, because you say you're not a teacher. We're all teachers, because we all. This is another message that came through in the BQH that we're going to be utilizing a lot of what we've accumulated and learned in the past several years from all these energies that have come in with the codes, unlocking all kinds of files. We've been learning about ourselves, and we've been releasing a lot of dense energies, dense, stuck, old paradigms. We're releasing. I mean, we're shedding, man, because we have to get lighter, and all this dense energy will not let us continue on in this increasing vibrations. They're like anchors, dude. So we got to release this. So a lot of healers are coming online, a lot of channelers and energy workers, mediums, just everybody, whatever modality that you're developing, dude, it could be used for this work. And you are a teacher, because I hear stuff come out of you. You're channeling. So,
it's funny you said that, and I do realize that too, after the fact many times, but I guess, it's probably just the responsibility of it, because I know how often I change my views, and I don't want to, start the ball rolling for someone. And I don't know, it's like I think back to my Christian days, and like maybe I proselytized and got somebody saved, and now they're like doing these big missions and stuff, and it's like getting over the fact that they're still doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I did what I needed to do at the time. And, and it's like letting go of that. But yeah, you're right. In the whole law of one, they say it's a learn, teach, learn. Because even as you teach, you learn it better. You have to learn it better to be able to teach it. And it just, it just brings it to the forefront. And then you bounce stuff back. It's a reciprocating relationship. I've learned so much from viewers.
Yes, because like I was definitely afraid of tarot cards and oracle cards because of, my belief system. But I was so drawn to them, and I'm like, I don't think I could do this. But I started to learn on YouTube. I started watching readers, and I was just watch them, then I would practice, and I would try to learn as much on my own. And then eventually I started practicing on my family members. And they were like, this is weird. I feel weird when you start talking, all of a sudden you just know stuff. And I'm like, one time when I first started this, like 2 years ago, I was like, I told my daughter, I'm like, can you sit for me and do a reading? Do you have any issues you want me to, I just want to practice. And so, this is funny. I all of a sudden I could feel when we connect, and I felt something else, and I'm like, ugh. I just kind of bounced back, and I said, no way. I'm like, what was that? I felt it in my soul. It was weird. I'm like, what was that energy? So then I'm like, I need to get some water. So I went and got some water, and I got really dizzy, and it hit me again. And the information that I received the first time, I didn't want to believe it. But then it was so strong. I turned and looked at her, and I said, are you pregnant? And she said, no. And I'm like, dude,
are you sure?
Are. And she says, she's like, no, I'm not. So the next day, she goes, yes, I am. That was a trip.
That's so
I'm
awesome.
Like, So the cards, because I asked the question, and she's like, she said she wasn't. So I asked, like, maybe let's see. Yeah, the cards were showing that she was. And then I'm like, well, this is a trip. The cards are showing it, because I was just learning. So after a while, I started to realize that I got to pay attention to what the cards are saying and my intuition. And I started to learn the symbols on the cards, the pictures, what stands out to me, and then I would pick up intuitive information, that kind of stuff. And this just exploded. And I was only doing my family, and then I was doing some friends that my son and daughter would bring over. I would predict stuff. I'm like, dude, 6 months from now, you're gonna have a lot of money. Or they're like, yeah, right. Or you're gonna meet somebody awesome. And I'm like, but you need to be open to it. And like, there's some guidance. It's amazing how this has exploded. And I'm still hiding it from some of my family members.
Right.
Because they're still, they're not. They know I have gifts, but it's like, as long as you stuff them away, it's okay.
Right.
But I can't no more.
Right.
It's
but
like,
thank
as long
goodness
as we
you
don't
have this
talk
group,
about it.
and I mean, it's so nice that we have a group like this that we can talk to people, because for so long it's like, I don't know. I have a feeling right now somebody's tuned into this video. They're just waking up and they're like, what the heck's going on? It's no accident that they showed up here. What advice would you give to someone? Because you've grown a lot. Wouldn't you say you've grown by leaps and bounds in the last 3 years since you woke up in 2017?
Oh, heck yeah.
Like faster than you could have ever imagined?
I'm like I still have my personality and everything, but what I know now,
yeah.
I mean,
completely different person. Huh?
Even my personality has changed.
Yeah.
Where I'm still growing. Don't worry. I mean, we're all constantly growing. We're constantly learning. But you catch yourself more quickly. You turn it around quick when your mood starts going down, or you get snippy on somebody because they're picking up energies from the collective, and you're feeling anxiety, or you're feeling stressed out, angry, irritated, and you want to lash out on your loved ones. Take a breath. That's so important. That's what I'm learning.
That's so funny you said that, Marie, because it gave me chills, because when you said that catching it quicker and quicker thing, that's sort of, I guess from the law of one, it made me realize that everything that comes our way is some sort of lesson or some sort of test. There's no accidents whatsoever. So anytime you encounter something that's out of the normal or more challenging, once you know that, then you sort of move out of the victim mentality of, why did this happen to me today? This is the last thing I needed to happen to me today. And then you spiral down from there. We've all been there. You know what I mean? Just have like a horrible day from one little thing or whatever. But yeah, you learn to catch things quicker, and you learn to realize, like, what is this teaching me? What am I supposed to be learning in this moment? And that is the thing that has really helped me grow so much, is moving away from the victim thing and then being like, what am I supposed to be learning here? I'm definitely supposed to be learning something out of this. What is it? And then that shifts your whole perspective out of the victim mentality into the student,
Right. Right. And we're constantly shifting back and forth from teacher student.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
I was learning something. So remember, I was talking about how I was in a really low place in the beginning of the year. I mean, man, I was feeling it. Like at New Year's Eve, I was feeling it. It's like, oh my God, something's coming, and I didn't know what it was. I was just feeling really down, and so I was being dragged down into the lower vibration. So I started having bad luck and not making good choices. And I don't know what the heck was going on, but I ended up getting ripped off $500, and I was devastated. And I was like, I think I'm being taught a lesson here. So I caught myself right there, right? I'm like, something's happening. This is not, why did I fall? It was a scam. I fell for a scam for Social Security. A phone call scam and all the red flags, dude. And I ignored them. Yeah. Even my gut was screaming at me. But I was like in a trance. It was like I followed the directions. They sent me out in town to put money on a card, whatever. I followed direction, and then they took it because they asked for, the number on the back. So I was devastated, and then they followed me all the way home, still kept me on the phone to get another credit card. And my daughter snapped me out of it. She's like, Mom, I think you're being scammed. And I was like, I'm not. I was really in this crazy. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is, first of all, it taught me a lesson of judgment because this happened to somebody the month before. And I got very, I was trying to make her understand that she was being influenced in a scam, and she wouldn't listen to me, and I was getting angry because I was frustrated. I was trying to, snap her out, but listen, you're in a, and then she finally realized it, and she backed out, and she didn't lose any money. But then it happened to me the next month. And I'm like, I'm too smart for this. What the hell? And I learned something. This is what the lesson was. If you start to dwell in the lower vibrational field and start feeling sorry for yourself and victim mode and I'm depressed and life sucks and I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills next week. Look, dude, I've been there. We've all been there. A lot of us have been there. Maybe not all of us, but a lot of us have been there. But it always worked out, dude. It always worked out.
That's the thing. It always works out. It always works out.
Look back. Look back at all that time, all those times that you felt like you weren't going to make it. Like, oh, my God, we're going to get evicted. Oh, my God, we're not going to have food. But, hey, you're still here.
Hey, I've even been evicted. It's gone pretty far sometimes, but you know what? I'm still alive. I'm still okay. So.
But it all works out because
I learned something.
All hard. Yeah, you learn something from it, and then it's funny because you can turn around and give somebody advice from what you've been through if you've ever been evicted. Because now I have all that under my belt. I'm like, dude, I got some information for you. So we all have something to teach. We all have something that we've learned in our lives. And practical things, not just emotional things, because I'm one of those. Like I have a lot. I've overcome a lot of emotional trauma, and I've got a lot to offer others that's gone through this or going through the same thing, or bringing up stuff that they're trying to release from their past. And it's weird because I can absorb, I can feel the sadness, and then I start crying. I'm very emotional medium. I cry a lot, so. So I feel it, and I'm a shaman. I learned that in my BQH. I'm a shaman. So no wonder I use a lot of crystals and stones and energy. I channel it through me, and I transmute it into the earth. But sometimes it's too much, so I have to use crystals to help me.
Right.
And but it's intense. But this is all expanding or exploding since the BQH. And
now the crystal thing, is that,
I don't know.
Is that new for you, Maria? The crystals?
Dude, yeah, because I was drawn to them. I started collecting some. I was getting them as gifts for doing readings. People don't have money, so they give me things or exchange. They give me everything that I need. Like I need candles, or I need sage, or I need a certain type of crystal. And all of a sudden, this person says, "Here, can you give me a reading? I'll give you this stone." But I accumulated all these stones, and now I'm going to turn around and use them, and
That's awesome.
in powerful ways. Yeah, it's incredible. And I always, like Alba, she says, you knew you were a shaman, because I intuitively knew, and I was getting information that I wasn't really sure, and the BQH really, because I went so deep and I got so much more information that, without a doubt, I can't doubt myself anymore, Shane.
Are you scared to do another BQH after that, though?
What?
Are you nervous about doing another BQH?
I'm not nervous about it, because I'm thinking, okay, if she asked really good questions when I was channeling beings,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff came out of me that, yeah, no way I could have even said those things. And I'm wondering, if I'm going to be channeling, how am I going to be doing it? I know I do this in an individual, one-on-one with clients and stuff, but I really feel drawn, because I'm connected to a Palladian.
Oh, wow.
And I found out her name. Her name is Anna. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. Anna. It's like Anna, but it has an extra apostrophe with an A. She spelled it for me. But holy crap, I never thought I was connected to a Palladian. I always saw Arcturians. But now I found out I work with an Arcturian. The Arcturian that I work with happens to be my son. Because I recognized him in the BQH.
Oh, wow.
And when because I did a reading on him, and I had called in one time and told you I saw those triangle-shaped ships. It was my son. I didn't want to put his name out there, but it was him and Arcturians and praying mantis that I saw. I didn't know they were Arcturians. I had to look it up. I'm like, I don't know what these beings are, but then I started seeing them. I see them differently than some of the descriptions. Like Edgar Casey saw them as little people, little tiny guys, but I see them in different levels. There's dimensional Arcturians that I connect to. Then there's these other Arcturians that are scientists that are around the planet right now, who are taking measurements, and along with the Palladians, because the Palladians are really working to help the humans, humanity. We're very connected with Palladians. They love us so much. They have so much love, but they're smart and they're just amazing. And all the beings that I see, the love felines. I saw a feline in my EQH. Looked like a bobcat head. So cool. So my son tells me all the beings that you seem to be having in contact with, when you describe them, I know what they look like because they're in all our video games.
Mm-hmm.
You see them in our movies. I'm like, because they're real. People are channeling them, these artists are channeling the beings and making them, for movies or for artists. They're making it for video games and anime, and all these beings are there, man. And I see them. For real. I'm not crazy.
That's so awesome to know that, where it seems like, and some of it could be accidental, because I know you'll get a picture in your mind and you'll think it's just something of your own creation, but you're actually channeling something, and a lot of artists do that and don't realize it. But we're actually seeing other types of beings when we see this artwork, and even if it's photoshopped and it's not an actual photo, it really would look similar to these types of beings that we see. So that's really pretty neat.
And I know there's a lot of you that have very strong clairvoyance, especially now that your third eye's been activated. Where a lot of you are seeing a lot of amazing things, and the orbs and the light and just all kinds of stuff. And it's amazing, and I love that when you guys share it, because the more you share, the more that others that are just starting out, they don't feel so alone. Because I felt so alone. I was,
Plus,
just 2 years
it
ago,
allows more experiences too. Once you hear some of the other people's experiences, you know, it lets you know that it's not like orbs. I would have never known. I would have thought something was wrong with my eyes. Like, why do I keep seeing these little sparkles and stuff? You know, I would have thought I wouldn't have realized it was my third eye. But it's like, you know, when you hear other people talk about it, it's like, oh my goodness. And then even some of the other symptoms that we've all been experiencing. So it's pretty neat.
There's a phenomenon that I've been experiencing, and I don't know what it is. I haven't gotten any answers. I'm wondering if maybe anybody here in the chat might know. But there's something that's been happening to me since my awakening, and I see sparkles or like flutters of light. It's hard to describe. Right under my eyes, like right on the top of my cheeks, like a fluttering. You can see it like with my peripheral, but it's not only do I see the fluttering, it's almost it feels like a butterfly, but it's not. It's energy. I know it's energy, but I also feel the sensation being pushed on my cheeks, like my cheeks are being stroked at the same time. And it's the weirdest thing, and it's been happening for like 2.5 years now, and it's just happened right now, and I still don't know what it is. I'm just wondering if any other mediums out there can pick up on that, because for some reason, you know, us light workers, us healers, and whatever modality that we use, a lot of times we get drained or we start having things happening that we can't fix ourselves, or we can't seem to overcome ourselves. Then we reach out to other light workers that might be able to help you in that department to clear out something you might have picked up, pull you out of a depression that you can't seem to get out of, but you know it's not yours. Need some balancing in the chakras, just a little touch-up. We should be helping each other, man.
Absolutely.
You know? So
that's why I have the forum set up. I wish people would use a little bit more to get in there and organize things and share some of the gifts. I mean, we have people that do BQH sessions, and I mean, what a perfect time now to learn the session. For $300, you can learn how to do it, and you don't have to make a living out of it, but just do it for your family or whatever, or at get-togethers and stuff, or whatever you feel drawn to at this time, really. But it's a perfect time for a lot of people that's sort of stuck at home. That's something you can learn online, and you can do sessions online. I know there's all sorts of stuff. Do you do your readings, distance readings?
yeah, I do them. Like I said earlier, I'm just learning how to use Skype, and now people don't trust Zoom, so I'm not using Zoom.
Why
So
not?
I don't know what other platforms. I don't know. They said something about it got hacked.
Oh, really?
And that, yeah. And I'm like, what are they gonna steal from me? You know, like a video of me giving somebody a reading. Like, okay. So, but I'm not too familiar with Zoom, so I'm just learning, man. Like,
well, what about
whatever client? Huh?
I was going to say, what about doing a reading for the whole group? Does the group have, since the group sort of has an entity, we're like I don't know, just the group of us are one. We create sort of a separate thing. I wonder if you could see if you could pull anything in for the group. Do you need a lot of time for it, or is it
I'm like trying right now while you're talking?
Okay, yeah. So let's everybody in the group can do this. Let's all take a conscious deep breath and try to connect with our higher selves right now and see if anything comes through Maria right now. That'd be kind of neat.
Let's see.
Really breathe in that perfection and that bliss of the moment that's always there, that perfect, intelligent infinity, perfect love.
Telling me to get the cards. So
let's do it.
The cards. You know what? They've been getting for a year or two that I should do my own YouTube channel. I'm like, nah, man, I'm too camera shy. I don't like the way I look. So anyways, but I'm getting over it. But the thing is, and I'm putting it out there because I'm authentic now. I'm learning. I lost my 2 front teeth, and I fell and I busted them because I was sleepwalking to use the bathroom, and I tripped over the toilet and I fell and busted my 2 front teeth. I haven't been able to replace them, so I don't want. So I tell my clients, you know, I'm like, well, this, I don't have my two front teeth. I hope it doesn't bother you. And they never seem to be bothered by it.
Yeah.
So I could do the one-on-ones, but man, putting myself out there on. But then Aluna Ash doesn't show her video. She does only voice.
Yeah.
But I would like to do like, you know, like what Eileen's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like live readings and stuff, just to help the light workers. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah.
I'll go on if you got. I'm like,
Yeah,
you know, I'm
definitely.
gonna get over my two front teeth, man, and I'm just gonna be brave. Okay,
Well, are you
I'm
gonna
giving cards.
are you gonna be able to post your session? I think that's something everybody would really be interested in hearing. Your session with Ruth.
Yeah, dude, I'm like Sherry, man. I mean, Sherry was brave. I mean, I look like a beached whale. I ain't putting that out there.
Well, hold on. Well, what about just the audio? Because sometimes people feel comfortable with the audio, but not the video. Or sometimes the audio is
Dude,
not
I
good
don't know how
enough,
to do that.
I have to.
The audio wasn't that great, but I did dictate it all. I wrote it all out.
That'd be cool to
And I was
post it
gonna
as yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna post it, but dude, it's so long. I'm going to do it in sections. Like there was 3 different places I went anyway, so I'll do different. Yeah. Hey, let me tap in. I started to go yabber talk too much.
No problem. And we'll all take some deep breaths. Connect with you.
I'm feeling a lot of love coming in, love energy.
Yeah. Very loving group.
I'm feeling this love energy coming in. It's coming in from spirit, man. Coming into all you all. You're feeling it right now. You know, all this competition between light workers, this is just coming up, okay? So I'm going to say it. The competition, it's time for us to turn around and know that there's enough for all of us. There's no lack. We are here to do a work, a very important work. And we're here not to try to get all rich and everything. Everything is being, it's unfolding as it should. And our see, I have a hard time running the energy. One minute. They're still here. I don't know who it is.
Take your time.
We're coming into a time where we're no longer going to need to learn through pain and suffering, through contrast. That's what Ruth said, contrast. Because we're coming into a time where we're going to start learning lessons through love and joy and just harmonious energy. We're bringing this in, and you know, it's really hard to say exactly when. It's here now. We're going through it now, and it's unfolding right before our eyes. And not to fear, to trust and know that all is well. I see angels surrounding the whole planet. There's angels everywhere. But it's weird because I see it as a metaphor because I see ships around. It's like, is it possible that the angels they spoke of in the Bible and in ancient religious texts are actually light beings from other planets, galactic beings? And they're helping us because they're higher. They love us. They're love, and a lot of them are our future self.
Yeah.
They're surrounding us because these galactic beings from other dimensions, from other galaxies, and from within our galaxies are all surrounding us. They are watching and witnessing this event because this is the first time humanity has gone through this. And it's a glorious thing, glorious, beautiful, wonderful. Things are not going to look the same in the next few months. We're all going through changes at our own our own level, but the changes are coming, and we're all noticing in different levels. Keep encouraging each other. Reach out to others that are struggling. Also, if you feel like there's no one to talk to, reach out to others in these forums. But like it was said before, do not be drawn into the fear. It's okay to listen and watch conspiracy theories and what's going around. It's okay to have keep yourself informed, but keep yourself neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Keep yourself at a higher vibration and witness this and observe everything that's going on and know that this is all happening because this is a great shakeup, because this paradigm is falling away and we're making room for the new. It's like the new wine in the new wine bottle. Beautiful, beautiful. Many of us are experiencing a lot of I'm letting you know I'm using the energy oracle cards at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And the first card that fell out was the NB card, and that was the light workers that feel like others are better than, they're not good enough, or they can't help, or there's too many light workers out there doing the same thing that I'm doing, and I can't make money. Change that energy, change that outlook, and know that there's plenty for all. We are all needed. There's so many that are waking up right now that are going to need us. So put away envy and know that we are all together as one. We are all one. We're shining brighter and brighter and brighter.
I also feel like on the other extreme of that, we have people that feel like, I don't have money to get that, so I'm not going to try to do that. And I think, there's so many people that do BQHs in this community. Just speak up and say, I'd love to have a BQH. I don't have money for it. I'll do one for you. I'll find someone to do one for you. I've never turned anyone away for BQH, so please don't limit yourself, because there's plenty of loving, giving people in the community that you can have a session if you want one. Or any kind of anything, really.
And this is a test in the where we're at right now for a lot of us who have our own businesses that rely on internet, and a lot. It's weird because I'm feeling that a lot of light workers are getting more work now, but not really expecting anything, because a lot of us are being guided to do this, and I haven't gotten paid once so far, and I am so taken care of. I just want to cry. So I'm just telling you.
Absolutely.
I'm creating this for myself. You can create any life you want, and that's just what I'm understanding now. And as we grow, many of us will start understanding it too. So don't rush it. Have patience, because it's coming. There's no going back from here.
Yeah.
The energies are going to be affecting us strongly next month. To be prepared. These are going to be very intense. The ones we just have are very intense. Each passing month, they're getting stronger, and they're lasting longer. And man, what was the last one? 140 or something like that? The Schumann resonance.
Yeah, and I'm looking at these here from the last couple of days, and they're off the charts. I don't know. They could have gone pretty far too. I'll have to look into it. I need to check with Ascension Diaries. She's sort of my go-to person there, or Mr. MBB or somebody. I haven't seen anything from them though.
There's another card that came out for the collective. It's the thinking woman here. It's a learning time. This is a time to go within and learn about who you are. Go within and connect with your higher self, because they're ready. Oh, you guys are ready, man. You just gotta keep discipline. Discipline is very important.
It really is, isn't it?
Yes,
so
it
hard.
really comes down to it's a choice. It's a choice. Either you go screaming and kicking and you don't want to learn anything, and you're gonna go. It's painful, but you're gonna go with us. But yeah, it's hard. But if you decide, hey, something's going on, something's happening to me, and it's important that you will continuously learn, and we're going to be learning from each other. All of us. We learn from each other every time we come on here.
Yeah.
We're learning from each other. Every caller that calls in has
Yep.
something to contribute. Everybody. Nobody's left out of this. And even if you're not speaking out, your energy is expanding. And when all you healers don't even know you're healers. When we're walking down a grocery aisle with your mask on and everything, and you're 6 feet away, you're still giving them that boost, that activation, that love, that higher vibration. It's triggering them to start to try to match yours. It'll pull them out. And that's what, because that's what's important, that the brighter we shine, the stronger the energy output. It's going to affect the ones around us.
Yeah. I
And
can
they're going
feel
to
it
have
now.
to, in
I
order
can
for
totally feel it
in
right
order
now.
for them to keep up with us, they're going to have to match us. And this is another thing that came through, is it's very important at this time that we're being quarantined, we're being kept in our homes. We can't go to the beach, we can't go to the mountains, go for hikes, nature, spend time in nature. This is very important right now for humanity, for those of us who are struggling with these energies. If you can be near some kind of natural water source, like a river or a stream or the ocean, just being near it, listening to it, will your energy field will start to vibrate and match that frequency, and that's Gaia's frequency, and it could be at 140 hertz. You don't know,
Right.
but you could get elevated just being in nature. So not just the water. They're saying, this is what they're saying: listening to the insects, the crickets, the all the ones that are noisy at night, or bugs.
Yeah.
Listen to those night creatures. That can also tune you into Gaia's frequency and raise your vibrations up. Sit near a tree, sit on the ground, take your shoes off. Earthing is very important. Listening to birds singing. You can also, if you're not around nature, you can always find this on YouTube, the sounds of nature. But it's very important to be in physical, put yourself physically in nature, even if it's just a patch of grass in your backyard, because you don't take care of it, it's all bald, but you got a patch of grass. Stand on that. Tune into nature, because we are one with the earth. And we need to match frequencies with Gaia, because Gaia's already in the fifth dimension. She's just pulling us along, and we're dragging our butts, man. And it's time to just release, let go of all that happened to you in the past, because that ain't gonna matter in a few years. All that, it's not gonna even matter. All those were lessons. All the hurt, the pain. Forgive, release, let go. That's so important right now at this time. That's why it's important. That's why the universe has put us on a time out. All this is happening for multiple reasons.
Oh man, it's happening for multiple reasons on multiple levels. It's amazing. Some of the stuff I've been shown during my meditative time has just really just blown me away at how much this is working on so many levels.
Yep.
So many levels.
Yep. See, you guys know. We already know. We're here to help.
I love that. I mean, you're so connected. I was getting stuff right with you about some of the stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're so connected.
There's another card that came in called, it's the walking away card. We're walking away from the old paradigm, old belief system. This is what we're moving through right now, these transitional years. This year is a transitional year. And the following months, there's going to be so much. I can't even, they're not showing me that, but they just said, be prepared, buckle up, hold on, no fear, trust, and know that all is well. So that's, I don't know who brought that in. Okay, and then the last card that came out is the Healer of the Ages card. It's Jesus. oh God, his heart chakra's expanded with gold light, and his hands are held out with energy coming out of his hands, and it's the Christ consciousness. This is the 5D energy that we're tapping into, and we're starting to feel some of that already. That bliss, that feeling of of brand new, of just an excitement and enthusiasm. More and more are starting to come out so enthusiastic that they just want to share. Before they were too shy to do it, now they're becoming bold. And now they're more are starting to come out and start sharing their knowledge with other light workers on other platforms and any and all platforms possible. This is, oh my God, this energy is so much. I can't. See, I'm still learning. They've been making me fast. I can't eat meat anymore. Ever since the BQH, I haven't touched meat. They're prepping me and preparing me so I can hold the energies. Sometimes I sputter out and I lose connection. So, but that's all I got, you guys. So
that's awesome, though. I mean, and I'm so glad Jesus came through. And it doesn't surprise me because we have a lot of people from Christianity that took Jesus and split like I did. I took my Jesus and left the church, you guys. I'm just saying that.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened to me. Yeah. I see him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In my vision, I walk with him. He hugs me, puts his arm around me. I can feel his love. It's not beautiful. The whole time I was in my Christian faith, I didn't have that kind of connection, but now I do. It's so beautiful. You guys, this is wonderful. Thank you for letting me rant and act crazy up here on this platform, but I'm learning, okay, you guys? I'm learning with you.
That's perfect, because a lot of other people are learning right with us. So, and then other people are like, okay, so this is what we have to look forward to pretty soon. You know, I've already been noticing. Have you been noticing the telepathy stuff coming online? So many weird things have been like, oh my gosh, that's what I was just thinking about. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really happening. It's been happening daily. Stuff, the whole telepathy.
I know
thing.
It's incredible. That was another message that I got through another client about telepathy has come online, and I remember it came online I think it was in July when they told me it came online. Mm-hmm. And that now it's becoming more prominent. Like we're noticing it more and more, and it's daily. It's happening more and more. So what I got from Spirit was that there's a collective. I think there's a collective that's telling me all this stuff. Anyways, they said that keep practicing. When you start to when you hear a thought or get a thought in your head and you know it just came from nowhere, and then somebody goes or says that word, that particular word, or you just know about something and the person says it, you picked up on that.
Yep.
Then at the same time, you're wondering, did they read my mind? Because you don't know where it came from.
Right.
Like, did you think that and they picked that up, or was it vice versa?
Yeah.
But they said to keep practicing, knowingly practice. Like tell someone, hey, let's practice. Let's see, practice with cards, like, or symbols, or guess what I'm looking at. Because I used to play that game with my kids when they were little, and then when we were tapped into each other, we start reading each other's minds. I used to play that game. We can do that now with our family members. So we need to practice that, because that's going to be our new way of communicating. Not just picking up on people's thoughts. It's going to be the whole spectrum of emotions and just knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say, for instance, because Sherry knows this. BQH people know this. So
hey, Ruth just got here.
Hi, Ruth.
Hey, Ruth.
When you get into a trance and you go into the ethers and you're experiencing other realms, you can actually feel it. You feel it. You know it. You just experience it with your whole physical body. It's the energy. So that's what's happening to all of us. We're all shifting to the point where we're going to pick up at each other's, not only our thoughts, but our feelings and just our experiences. We're going to share that. And there's no way we can we can't lie to each other anymore. No. We're not going to be able to do that anymore. So Okay, I'm talking too much.
Oh, no. My kids were loving it though. We were doing that where we were picking a shape and a color, like I don't know, like a yellow star or blue square or something, and we were all taking turns. Like one person would sort of try to broadcast something, a green circle or whatever it is, and we were having some really neat coincidences, because like one person would get the color and the other person would get the shape, or we had a few times where the person got them both. So yeah, it is a fun game to play, and it is sort of like exercising the abilities, especially while everybody's at home. And then you can see who might be a little, I don't know, they got a gift at it. Maybe they get it a little bit more often than everybody, and then it'll get them excited about, looking more into that gift. And you never know until you try, though,
No, until you try. See, it's all like how you want if you really truly gotta shut up. I'm talking too much. Just know
You're
that.
perfect.
Just believe, okay? Just believe. And our imaginations is a tool. It's a tool. You need an imagination. You picture what you want, and you go there. If you want experiences in the when you go into meditation and you ask your guides that you want an experience, you want to be able to see them, or just keep practicing that, because eventually your clairs are going to start opening up. When you ask, you shall receive. So and believe that you can shift your life, but only you. Nobody else can do it for you, but we can help you along the way. That's what we have this tribe. Help each other. So, okay, I'm an end now. I'm an end.
That was perfect.
Okay,
it was a great conversation, Maria. I appreciate you taking the time to call in and share that wonderful, uplifting experience. I'm glad Ruth got to hop in here at the end.
Oh man, that woman, she's amazing. She'll be doing amazing things.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'll get off.
All right, lots of love to you. Thank you, Maria, for calling in.
Oh, love you guys. I love all you guys. I love all you guys.
Love you so much, too. Okay, bye-bye. Awesome. What time is it here? Gosh, I didn't even notice we went over a little bit. Just enjoying the conversation. So let's see here. Any final thoughts? I think we pretty much covered everything. Abilities coming online, I think BQH is just probably one way that it's been happening for people. I know Sherry said her abilities seem to increase. You can hear that Maria had this incredible transformative experience from her BQH session with Ruth. So thank you, Ruth. And so yeah, get with somebody in the group, you guys, and don't let money stop you. There's all sorts of people in our group. You can find somebody that you jive with, and I don't know anybody that would turn you away for money. So I do them for $111, but if somebody came to me and wanted one and didn't have the money, I would not turn them away, because that's not the kind of world I want to live in. I don't want a world where somebody can't have something just because they don't have the money and I have the ability to give it to them. So I know I'll get blessed some other sort of way. And so don't let that stop you guys from reaching out. Ask and you shall receive. And even if I can't do it, I can find somebody that can do it for you. So let's start connecting in a little bit deeper and turning these abilities on, playing with our telepathy a little bit more, practicing. There's a lot to do in the meantime. Definitely want to take time to be quiet and listen. As I was talking to Steve earlier, even if you're not a meditator, sometimes it's nice to just sit outside, listen, and just listen. Listen to the birds, see if you hear anything come through, depending on where you live. But it's a wonderful time, and I'm so glad that we have each other. I love you guys so much. You have no idea how awesome it is to be a part of something so wonderful and such a wonderful time with such a great, wonderful, loving group of people. It really does. It touches my heart in such a profound way. And we're all doing this together. So with that, I'll close this out. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back with Eileen, and we'll put our power of intentions together tomorrow night. And then in the meantime, send all that love and light and comfort and peace out to everyone around you. Stay happy, you guys. Have a good one. Be sure to check out the website at uotf.net. There you will find the live stream schedule displayed in your local time right there on the front page. Below that, you'll find links to take the Beyond Quantum Healing course at a discounted rate, purchase our book, Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe, in paperback or ebook, or to contact me to schedule a BQH session. At the top of the site, you'll find links to help support the work I do, access the free private forum where you can discuss organizing get-togethers in your area, Mandela effects, and more. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you.